I'll be like, oh, baby bird. Welcome and thank you so much for joining us on one of our streaming safaris. I'm Keeper Kylie and I'm joined over here by Zookeeper Caroline. Hi guys! We're really excited for this one today. This is going to be a live question and answer session. We already have some prepared questions that we've already got, but if you guys have any as you're going through, we'll try and go back and answer them as well. Now, this handsome guy joining us right behind here is Bentley. Bentley is 13 years old and he's going to be hanging out with us while we go and talk about why it is what we do and how we do what we do every day. So, you're going to be hearing some questions off to the side. We'll go ahead and get started.
Okay, so first up, we're going to answer some of our...
Sorry, I got distracted. It's what I do when there's an animal near me. First off, thank you guys so much for your support. I always want to go and start these by saying thank you. Honestly, the outpouring of support that we have seen has absolutely been fantastic. We really want to thank our local businesses, especially our local news channels. All of them, including Channel 5, Channel 13, Channel 3, and Channel 8, have been able to go and help bring awareness of these streaming safaris, as well as the awareness of our habitat in general. So thank you to them. Now on that note, all the donations that we have been getting in have been a huge help. But again guys, we still need that help. Our animals do have to eat every day, so any amount that you guys can spend, just a few dollars, really makes a big help. You'll see donation links linked on our Facebook page below. Also on our website, lionhabitatranch.org, there's a donate button right there. And don't forget Amazon Smiles. As you go and you make your orders from the comfort of your home, automatically some of that, those will get donated back to us. So any of your purchases, a small amount of that will get donated back to us. So it's a really easy way that you can continue living your lives and helping us out as well. But again, all those few dollars that we've been receiving really help. So thank you so much. All right.
All right, you ready for questions?
Thank you.
Can you get a little bit closer to the microphone?
Absolutely. So, first off, we're going to answer some questions that we got asked on some of our other posts that we've been making recently. So somebody wants to know how old Snowy is, the cockatoo that we shared the other day.
Snowy, who was an owner surrendered to us, came in at 12 years old. She's actually only one of the few birds here that we do know their ages on. A lot of our birds come in from rescue situations, so we don't have any histories on them. It makes it really challenging for us to be able to go and give them those care. And it's one of the messages that we're constantly going and talking about. If you want to have a bird as a pet, they're absolutely amazing, but make sure you're doing your research before you get them, because they are quite a bit of work. You might be able to hear Doc over in the distance there. He's a cockatoo and he's been talking this whole time.
All right, speaking of birds and a lot of work, we have another question about birds. We had a listener ask, we have a Triton cockatoo, which we adopted from a couple 8 years ago. She has areas on her body that are bald since she's been picking after we adopted her. I think it's stress from being rehomed. What can we do to get her feathers to grow back in?
That's a really great question. I would actually say talk to your vet. That's a really good opportunity to just rule out anything that could be physical. And if it does end up being anything mental or behavioral, they'll be able to point you in directions that will be more specific to your animal. So going to a vet, especially one who would be an avian specialist, will be a really big help in the future for that. I highly recommend getting that checked out, and they'll be able to help guide you further down the line.
Great. So we're getting some questions in now on the live. What other animals do you have there?
That's a really great question. Caroline, do you want to answer this one?
So we have Nevada's only giraffe, Ozzy. He's down by our gift shop over there. He's 6 years old now, and he's really good at painting. That's one of his favorite things to do. We also have about a dozen parrots, just like Kylie mentioned, those bunch of rescues that we've received over the years. And then we also have emus, ostriches, and then 2 tortoises, along with 2 guinea fowl. That rounds out our population here at the Lion Habitat Ranch.
Awesome. And how long do you have to go to school to become a zookeeper?
That's a really good question. There's a couple of different paths that people can take overall. Mine was kind of the traditional route, so I'll go and I'll give that information. I did go to a 4-year school. I went to the University of New England, and I went and I studied something called psychobiology, which is animal behavior. On the zookeeping field, it's becoming more and more required to have some form of formal education. So just be aware that if you're looking to get into this field, I'd start looking at what the requirements are now so you can kind of understand where you want to go with that. Now, Caroline, you did something a little bit different.
Yeah, I did. So I also got my bachelor's in science from University of California, Riverside, but I also went to a program at Moore Park College called America's Teaching Zoo at Moore Park College. There, while I was taking classes for 22 months straight, I was also taking care of a zoo that was on property there. Now, they have large cats just like our lions here. They also have tigers, they have primates, they have birds, they have hoofstock animals, and you get to learn how to basically take care of animals at a zoo and manage it. You feed, you clean, you medicate, you do presentations with those animals, you train those animals for grades. So over 22 months straight, it was a very hard program, but I feel it was immeasurable experience, and I would not trade that for the world.
All right, what is the lion behind you's favorite thing to eat?
So he's actually getting some pretty nice treats right now. This here, again, he's Bentley. He is kind of a senior cat, so the diet that he's actually getting right now is part of his daily diet. He's actually had most of his diet already, but we have specialized meat that's made for the zoological field that has all the vitamins and minerals that they need. They really, really respond well to it, and we can make sure that it has things, especially as the cats get a little bit older, we can go and make sure that they're getting all of that. Every once in a while, though, we can give them some special fun things, like maybe a couple bites of steak here and there, but you do have to watch out for those cats and their diets, because you want to make sure that they're always getting what they need health-wise first. It's just like with us at home. I might want to chow down on those Oreos all day long. I still got to eat my fruits and vegetables too.
And how old is Bentley?
Bentley is 13 years old. We consider our cats seniors at 15 years old. So Bentley is up there, but we still got time with him left.
Great. So right now, let's see, you guys were talking about how much education you had to have. What made you decide you wanted to go into this field since you had so much education to get here?
Well, while I was going to school at University of California, Riverside, I was really finding out that I really enjoyed the animal-based classes that I was taking. So kind of at the end of my time there, I was like, why don't I go into, the animal care profession? Because that's what I enjoy doing most. And so that's when I found that program, Moore Park College, America's Teaching Zoo, and then I went to that program after I went to UC Riverside. So it was just one of those things where I always loved animals, and it just, it naturally went that direction.
I have been like this since I was about 5 years old. I actually don't even remember how I got into this, but I've known since I was very, very young that I was going to work with animals. Back then it used to be wanting to do dolphin training, and I was actually very fortunate enough to be able to get into that field a little bit on the husbandry and education side. So my parents were remarkably supportive my whole time growing up. Anytime they found camps or teenage programs that I could go to, they were really, really supportive in helping me get to that. And it was actually my mom who found the program up at UNE for me to attend. So they were amazing at that. So I've always been like this. I can remember back in second grade learning how to spell marine biologist, because back then that's what I kind of thought I would end up getting into. So it's shifted over the years. I've definitely gone from being more on the marine side to more of the terrestrial land-based things. But overall, I like animals, so it's a pretty easy career to kind of find where your niche is, whether you like big carnivores or whether you want to work with birds. It's a really good way to find what you like in a zoo. You can really go and hone that in. But yeah, I've always been the weird one.
All right, for each of you, what's your favorite animal here?
Oh, okay. So first off, we don't have favorites, but we do like some more equally than others. I'm probably gonna have to say I work with two birds. I'm actually more of a bird nerd than the lions, so I'm kind of weird in that regard. I like my birds. I love Snowy. You guys saw the video of her posted today. She is absolutely my angel. And then I've been working really, really hard with another cockatoo named Shock. He came in absolutely terrified of humans, so the fact that he's coming up and letting me interact with him on very small steps has just been amazing over the past year that I've worked here. So I think those are probably the two that really get me out of bed every morning.
That's a hard question. You should never ask the zookeeper that question because they can never answer that efficiently. I enjoy birds as well. I really do enjoy one of our birds, Ringo. He's the blue and gold macaw that's been on this live stream before. And then I also enjoy another macaw named Millie. But all of the animals here kind of hold a special place in all our hearts. So.
It sounds like you guys have a lot of favorites, and you're interacting with them. It looks like a lot of fun. You guys just play with animals all day, right?
No, not really.
Oh gosh, no. I think our joints and our backaches go and attest to that. That is a really common misconception, is that when you're in this field, you just get to go and play with that. And you see the small glimpses of us interacting with our animals all day long, and a lot of people think that that's what it entails. In reality, we've already finished our work for the day. We get here right now, we're coming in at 7 in the morning. In the summertime, we're gonna start at 6 in the morning. So I can promise you that it is a lot of work before you guys are even out of bed for most of you. What did you end up cleaning today?
I helped clean Giraffe today, and I also helped clean out our building so that way our kitchen and our work area was also clean. I know, where were you today?
I was birds today, so we do all rotate here. So yeah, going through and taking care of all of the birds. So that means we're cleaning, we are raking. Today we actually went through all of the water pots, everything got a full scrub out, so we're dragging big pumps behind us to pump those waters out. Everything's getting scrubbed. We rake all yards out fully, so we go through and we give them a full rake out throughout the week, and so we make sure everything is really clean. The den boxes that the animals go and live in, we make sure that the heating pads are working right now. This season we're going to move into the air conditioner soon, so we want to make sure that those are working. So it's a lot of physical labor, and guys, I gotta tell you, it's a lot of poop.
Yep.
It's a lot of poop, so that's really a big part of what we do. We are the pooper scoopers. Yep.
Do you guys still have Marina, Dude, Gino, and Belladonna?
Yes, actually, they just celebrated a birthday a couple weeks ago, so
Yes.
if you check back on our Facebook page, you might be able to see that. Yes, we do. Dude is a pretty important cat here. Why is Dude so special here?
Dude's pretty special because he's our largest lion. He's about 600 pounds. Most of the time, male lions are only about 500 pounds, like Bentley here. So, Dude's a very big cat. He's pretty amazing. And then his sister Marina is our biggest female at about 400 pounds.
Yeah, she's big.
Yeah, big
But
lady.
she still puts him in his place.
So what is the hardest part of getting into this field? The hardest part of your job? And how did you or do you stay motivated?
I think the last part is probably the easiest part.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting motivated and seeing our care manifest in the health of these animals. We're currently not breeding, but at a previous facility, we worked really hard. So zoos work really hard to really conserve species. So when you're working with a highly endangered species and you get to go and help them raise offspring to help promote to that, that's amazing. There is absolutely nothing in the field that even compares to having an animal contribute just a little bit more to saving that species a little bit longer and getting people to realize that. That is a huge motivating factor for me, I think. And I love educating. When kids are excited about the environment, I think that really excites me. What about you? What's your motivation?
When I see that the animals recognize me and that we actually have a relationship, even though we're so busy doing other things, that we still have, you know, that extra 5 minutes to check in on them and they actually recognize us and they want to come and interact with you. I mean, that just shows that you're putting in the time and the effort working around them, that they want to come and interact with you. That's pretty special. And then sharing it all with you guys because, you know.
You couldn't do it without me.
Yeah, exactly.
The hardest part of the field is it is competitive. It is very competitive. There's a kind of a rule of thumb when you're applying for jobs in the field. Which by the way, you don't get to really stay where you live. I'm actually from Hudson, New Hampshire. Hi guys. Where are you from?
I'm from Temecula, California.
Yeah. No, we don't get to stay close to home in this field. In this field, you go where the jobs are because it is so hard to get a foot in the door. And you're usually sending out about 10 applications before you get a response. That's not even a job offer. That's, hey, we maybe want to interview you, or here's some supplemental questions. It is a lot of work to just go and have that kind of field to work in. But there are so many amazing zookeepers out there, and everyone's really passionate about that job. So I think that's the other thing. The other real hard part about the job is the money aspect, is the fact that we don't have a lot of time with our families. Our animals here are here 24/7. So weekends, there's no such thing as weekends. There's only such things as days off. And even then, that can be variable. You miss birthdays, you miss weddings, you miss all of those things because we have to come into work. And I can't remember the last time I celebrated a major holiday with my family.
Long time ago.
Yep. So that's a really hard part. And then the hardest part of this job here, oh God, you guys, I hate water pots. Yeah, lugging that pump around. What about you?
Honestly, right now, it's probably making sure, you wake up on time, because 7 o'clock doesn't sound bad when you have to come at 7 o'clock and then work hard right when you clock in. You got to make sure you're on your game, especially when you're working around dangerous animals like lions. So, and that's even going to change for us when we go to 6 o'clock. So it's gonna hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, who names the animals?
Ooh.
A lot of that comes through our president, Keith. He's been working with these animals for a really long time, so he's established a really good relationship with them and sees their personalities. He's been doing this for a very, very long time and kind of began this, so he was there. And then a lot of our animals, especially if they're rescues or owner surrenders, they've already come in with names, so we respect that.
All right, speaking of names, we want to know, who is that behind you?
This guy is Bentley. You can just see Maine there. This is Bentley. Yeah, he was joined by brother Frisky here as well.
Are you guys going to breed in the future?
I can't say anytime soon for that. Right now we have 31 lions. 31 lions. So that's quite a bit amount to feed. When it comes to breeding, there's a lot of different aspects. You want to make sure that it's safe and healthy for the species. You want to make sure that it's safe and healthy for the animals that you have as individuals. You want to make sure that your facility is prepared for that, because lions can have litters up to 6. You just got 6 mouths to feed for 20 years. So those are things that have to be taken extremely seriously in the future. So I think right now we are pretty comfortable with the amount of mouths and the care that we have here already.
So when was the last time there were cubs here?
It was about 5 years ago. Our youngest cats were born on April Fools, so their birthday is actually going to come up pretty soon. So there are 4 females with 1 male, so you guys can come and see them, hopefully when we open up soon.
Can't wait to see you guys again.
Yeah.
How old is Bentley?
He is 13, so just kind of coming up on his senior years right now. And human care lions typically live to be about 15 to 20 years old. So we consider 15 about senior level. So he's not quite there, but he's up there. Our oldest that we have here are actually 2 females in the back who are coming up on 21. So those are amazing girls that we have here, and they are spoiled beyond all reason. I love them. Yes.
Not really a question, but somebody says you can also volunteer. Do you want to tell us a little bit about our volunteer program?
I think I'm speaking for zookeepers around the world here when I say volunteers are our lifeblood. Please come volunteer. But it's not like what people think. A lot of people think when they're going to come and volunteer that they're going to be cuddling on the birds or cutting through the lions. It's work. It really is, but it's huge help for us. So when all this is said and done and we're able to go and bring people back on, volunteering is a good way to help. It can help us out in our gift shop. It helps us in our ticket booth. There's all levels as well. So definitely those who want to come in the morning and help us clean, that's huge. But maybe you just want to come and spend a couple hours gardening or helping out with stuff in the gift shop. All of that helps huge amounts, and so we couldn't do that without you.
Yeah, and honestly, that can also help you. So if you want to become a zookeeper, a lot of times when employers are looking at new applicants, they want to see that you have experience, especially with exotic animals like lions and giraffes and stuff. So if you work here long enough, you can definitely get good experience with our animals, and then you can take that experience on with you to other places.
Great. What is one of your favorite experiences while being a zookeeper?
Oh God, I have so many.
a good question.
That's a really good question. I have seen, personally, I've seen 3 dolphin births, and those dolphins meant the world to me. They still do to this day, and being able to be there and watch that, I was able to go and see the 4th generation at a facility born, and she immediately was with her great-grandmother. And I think that moment just kind of will always stay with me for a long time. But I think births in general have a pretty significant meaning in my life. But yeah, can you remember getting your first job?
Here.
So what was that feeling like? Being like you're a zookeeper.
It was pretty great because I graduated from that program at Moorpark College, and obviously that was a great experience, but then I was like, oh, that was actually supposed to be used to get a job. So when I got the job here, I was very excited, especially since I was able to jump in with helping take care of 31 lions and a giraffe. So it was a pretty amazing experience getting hired here and, being able to jump in right away and taking care of some pretty amazing animals. So.
You have 31 lions. Oh my! How many girls and how many boys?
I actually just found this out, so we actually yes, we actually have to go and count. We have 17 females and 14 males. If you actually watched the live stream the other day, I tried to do that math in your head very quickly. It's hard. So we went back, we counted everybody because there's a lot of them. 17 females and 14 males.
All right, here's what I think everyone wants to know. What do you think about the spotlight that's been shed on big cats due to the Tiger King on Netflix?
I'm actually really excited about it. Having conversations is important. Anybody can go and talk, but you need to have that conversation back. So this is a really important thing that I think really distinguishes zoological facilities from pet ownership with the experience. I think the biggest takeaway is that as zookeepers, at the end of the day, we don't care if you know our names. I don't care if a single human who comes in happens to see, I want them to appreciate my animals. I think we kind of have all lived by the mantra, we do it for the cause, not the applause. So people who want to go and put their name on something might be a little bit suspect. There are some amazing facilities out there that are doing amazing conservation work and education work and are truly saving species, guys. That's not a euphemism. Zoological facilities around the world are the reason that we have these species back out, even our California condor. Those are species that because of zoos are around today, and that's very, very important. But having some guy doing it because it's cool, yeah, no. Being a zookeeper, there are some really cool parts to the job, but it's hard. And I think that's a really big, important difference to make with him and to add to that.
It's just these animals weren't meant to be pets. We're fortunate to have these guys, but we take care of these guys like they are wild animals. They are not our pets at the end of the day. I know that I can't be super cuddly with these lions. I know that, ultimately these guys are dangerous, and it's my job to keep myself safe, it's my job to keep the animals safe, and it's my job to keep my coworkers safe. So it's very different.
Yep.
Very different.
Good. Keep those conversations going. As always, if anybody has questions about facilities, look it up. And I just want to point out that accreditations, well, there are some amazing zoos out there who don't have an accreditation behind their name. That is just an easy way you can go and check it out. So accreditations you can look into in the United States are AZA, we're ZAA, which is the Zoological Association of America. That means that we have invited somebody to come in and inspect us to make sure that we hit a very high standard of care and that everybody within that organization meets those same guidelines. So we're very comfortable working back and forth with them, so you know that those standards of care are being met right off the top. So that's a really good way. ZAA is a good one, the Alliance of Marine Mammal Parks and Aquariums, and then American Humane Certification is a new one that's coming out. That one is extremely in depth and really takes the care of the animal. So if you see those little things on a zoo website or on their Facebook page, they've been accredited or inspected, then you know you're dealing with a pretty good facility.
What are the names of the oldest lions? Were they the ones in your last live video this past week?
No, those girls were Chili and Pepper in the video, who are definitely seniors. They are 15. But we do have some lions that like it a little bit more quiet. So we have Sky and Louie B, who live together in kind of our off-show area. We have a couple lions who, as they've gotten older, just like the quiet life a little bit more, and we will absolutely respect that and still give them their care. So while we love our guests coming in and getting to see these animals up close, we understand that every once in a while our cats need to have a different standard of care than that, and so we will absolutely respect that, and they are two amazing girls.
What are the benefits to animal care facilities for the animals in the wild?
That's a great question.
So Bentley and our other lions here are what we call wildlife ambassadors. By them being here, we're able to educate people. We can hear him actually roaring behind us right now. He likes to talk. So I'll keep talking over it. So these guys help bring awareness to what these lions are going through in the wild. Because actually, Bentley, along with his relatives here, are Barbary lions. Barbary lions were found in the north coast of Africa, but unfortunately have been extinct in the wild since about the 1960s. So that's just, it brings awareness to the plight of animals out in the wild and how we can help, and we can supply you guys resources so that way you guys can help those animals out there.
I think one of my favorite mantras that I've lived with, and I know a lot of zookeepers around the country, we all know this quote. It's from a Senegalese conservationist, and it's, you conserve and protect what you love what you know what you're taught. If you don't know that these animals even exist, or the troubles that they're going through, like giraffes are going through a silent extinction. We're actually losing these species at a very, very fast rate. And so by bringing attention to them in ways that solidify in your mind in a much more concrete way, people are going to be a lot more open and responsive to ways to protecting them in just much more passionate ways.
Hi, I got to meet some cubs back in 2013. Rusty was my favorite. Do you know if he's still there?
Rusty! So I actually have a personal connection with Rusty. Rusty has actually moved to America's Teaching Zoo at Moorpark College, where I went to go to school there. So actually for about 22 months, I was there with Rusty for most of the time. So he was actually kind of the reason me and a coworker came out here, because she was really interested in where he came from. She got a job here and she told me to come and apply here. So Rusty's definitely a goofball. We love him over there. So he definitely taught us what it was like to work with a male lion. So we love Rusty.
I was going to say, the sisters went to a different facility.
The sisters went to a different facility. Actually, me and my coworker went to see them. So they were out of Africa, out at Camp Verde, Arizona, and that was a pretty fun place to go. I really enjoyed that place.
So that kind of brings to attention that sometimes the animals do not stay on our facilities, and sometimes we do bring them in. There's a lot of different reasons for that. First and foremost is going to be the care of those individual animals. What do their social needs look like? What do the needs of other facilities look like? If they have the opportunity to go and house more male lions or things like that, because male lions, even if they grow up together, sometimes don't always end up liking each other as they get older, or there's always a lot of different aspects. So that's why those kind of accreditations and working within the field is so vital to them, and that's why we're really sure that we work with facilities that we know support our cause in the end. So that's a really important thing, that sometimes we do end up having to go and say goodbye to them if they go to other facilities, but we know that they're going to get the best care and be amazing ambassadors out there. And as you can see, they inspire other zookeepers.
Yeah, no, we love Rusty. Rusty's fun.
All right, we're going to jump back to volunteering. How old do you have to be to volunteer, and what are the requirements?
Not much in the way of physical requirements. We're willing to work with all abilities, so that's fine, but you do have to be 18 years or older. That's pretty standard in most zoological facilities across the country. For volunteering, they're going to want to go and see that. Now, there are some great teen programs out there. There are some good camps out there, so check at your local zoo, see if they have those programs available for anybody younger, but usually for volunteering, you do have to be 18 years or older.
Do you plan on getting another giraffe?
At this time, not yet. One, our giraffe is still a little bit on the young side, so even though he thinks he's old enough to have a girlfriend, no. He's like a teenage boy. Nope, you gotta wait. But even then, we're going to take a lot of different considerations into account before that happens. The size of our facility, what's happening around us, how the local town things is happening, all of that is going to happen.
Have you worked at other zoos before this?
Most definitely. I've actually been doing this for about 13 years, coming up on 14 years. So I've worked in a lot of different facilities, starting with aquariums. That's what I started in. I started on the aquarium side of things. So that's what brought me out to Vegas, because again, you don't usually get to stay where you live when it comes to the zookeeping field. So I started off at aquariums. I moved to the education side of things, so I worked at a marine mammal facility doing education, and then I actually went to Texas for a little bit, and I worked down there, so I got to go and work at a lot of different zoos and had a lot of experience with different animals. So usually that's not unusual in the zookeeping field, to kind of move around and figure out where your niche is on that. So
Yeah. This is actually my first official job working with animals. Like I said, I was at Moore Park College, taking care of their zoo for 22 months. So that was my previous experience before coming here, but this is my first official job out here, so enjoying it. So.
She might be a little bit different. We might actually not let her go anywhere else, so we'll see how that goes.
How come there are no elephants here?
Elephants are hard. Elephants are real hard. They're not something you can go to the grocery store and pick up. So working with elephants and working within that community takes a lot of work, years and years and years and years of work, of permitting, of things like that. So and space and requirements and money. Oh my goodness, guys, they eat so much every day that, you know, we are a little nonprofit. So while we would love to go and expand on that, we want to make sure that we are always able to give the best care to the animals we have here. So we want to make sure that better is happening over bigger. Quality over quantity. Yes.
So any kids who are listening, what subjects in school should they study and focus on?
So biology is obviously a must-have for this. You get to understand the science behind living things. So, you know, animals are part of biology and stuff. Also, speech. Obviously, we're talking to you guys. You have to be very comfortable about talking in front of people, even if it's just one person or if it's 100 people. And then you do have to know a little bit of math.
Yeah.
Obviously, you just want to be a very well-rounded student, but science is pretty important. So
yeah, focus on those sciences early on, and that's a good way. And if there's things that you can do at home to maybe start practicing, you gotta like cleaning your room, guys. You gotta like cleaning up, you know, taking care of your pets. Understanding that they need to be fed without your parents asking them, taking the dog outside, cleaning up that poop, scooping the dog poop, guys. That's what we do every day, cleaning those cat boxes. But understanding your pet's behavior is a really good one too. We do a lot of training here. So maybe you want to train your dog or even train your cat at home to do some of those things. Those are some really good ways that you can help. But doing the dishes, oh my goodness, we scrub so many dishes.
So many dishes.
So many dishes. A lot of mopping, a lot of sweeping. So feel free to start helping out with those chores around the house, and then you'll see what it's like being a zookeeper.
All right, so I think we're going to start wrapping up. We have a couple more questions, and then any other questions you guys have, I'm sure we'll be more than happy to answer those afterwards. So a real quick one, can Bentley swim and can Ozzy swim?
I don't know if giraffes can swim. I don't think so.
Probably not.
I don't think so.
They want to avoid waters in Africa because there's crocodiles, and that's one of their few natural predators. So I don't think they're swimming regularly.
Yeah, they'll probably be able to tread through the water, but I don't think they're swimming.
Yeah.
Lions can swim, but you don't see them in the water very often. Tigers are really good natural swimmers. A lot of people see them in pools. Tigers will naturally seek out fish and things like that, but you don't see lions. And again, that's because crocodiles in Africa are 100% a threat to lions. So those murky waters can actually be really dangerous. So lions can swim, but oftentimes they choose not to.
How many treats does Bentley get?
As many as he wants.
Yeah.
All right, so we did have somebody ask if we can zoom in on the lions to get a better view. We're gonna do that here at the end.
And he's doing
It's a
what
little bit
Logan's
hard
doing
for
best.
her to get the camera up close, but she's gonna try her best.
He's doing what he does best, which is sleep.
Sleeping.
That's the most common question we have here. Why are the cats all asleep? All right, guys, we're going to be wrapping up soon. Thank you so much. Again, thank you to all of our local supporters, all of those major organizations. Thank you for helping us get the word out. And you guys, too, keep sharing these. All of the videos are going to be made on our Facebook page. So feel free to scroll through all of our streaming safaris. We have crafts and other lessons on there. So if the kids at home are looking for something to do, check that out. And again, please consider donating. These dollars, small amounts make a huge amount of difference. So just that $5 that you might not be spending on that tank of gas or things like that nowadays really help us. So you'll see donation links all throughout our Facebook page. You can also donate directly on our website, which is lionhabitatranch.org. And again, consider making that Amazon Smiles account. All right, and don't forget, we're gonna have another one tomorrow. Usually we're gonna be thinking of doing these streaming safaris on Wednesdays and Fridays, but we're gonna go and sprinkle some more as we have the staff. So tomorrow, same time at 11:30 a.m. Pacific time, we're gonna be doing some training with Ozzy. So you guys will get to see the star of the show, Ozzy the giraffe. He's going to be doing some awesome things. We're going to talk about training and why it's so important to know. So it's going to be really fun. We're going to have an activity for the kids then as well. So feel free to join us there as well. And again, if we didn't get to your question here today, feel free to continue posting. We're going to be monitoring the page a little bit. We'll be going through and answering your questions throughout. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Any last words?
Thank you guys for continuing to support us. Know it's a bit of rough times. And enjoy Bentley as he sleeps.
Yeah, we did get, does anybody go and just see the change in the cats? No, they sleep.
Thank you guys.